Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to Crypto Warehouse. It is Friday. It is the 17th of May. It's 11 a.m. and we are back for another Friday morning show. We've got a lot to talk about today. As always, we have a lot to talk about. We are going to go through what's happened with Vanguard, Biden being defeated in the Senate. We're going to go have a look at what Microsoft have had to say about AI and crypto. We have two picks. You know what happened yesterday when we went through the picks, but two more picks. When Sell, though, is an article about when to start to dollar cost average out of crypto. And I know we're going to do a live stream about this, but I'm going to include it anyway. And then final thoughts. Remember to smash the like button. Remember to give us a follow. We've just broken 130,000 followers. 130,000 followers. That's more than Manchester United get in a single game. Just put that out there. And about 20 times more than Burnley get in a game. $74,000 is still the target. I'm not going to take that off the screen until we've got to it. Remember, we touched it. We got very close, but we didn't get there. And then the thought for the day comes in a couple of different segments of the show. And it is, was I right? As you're watching the show, I haven't got a crystal ball, but was I right? And that's the thought for the day. That's what's going to stay on the screen. So a big welcome to everybody in this stream. Only You is here. Kishan is here. Hidden Agendas. Fran, Danny, everybody is here. The usual crowd in chat. And remember, this is a two-way stream. We are live. We are not a recording. And I certainly am not AI. Fran, of course you are. Well, let's see, Fran. Let's look at the evidence. Good morning, Mags. Welcome to the stream. Let's start off by having a look at the markets. Market cap is up 0.5%, just over 2.4 trillion. Volume is down a touch, 80 billion. Dominance, 54.3% for Bitcoin, 15.2% for Ethereum. Bitcoin dominance is slowly moving up, and nobody's knows. It's like watching a lobster being cooked to death. It doesn't realize it's getting nice and toasty until it's the end. And Bitcoin dominance is probably going to hit 60% before you or I even notice it. Prices then, Bitcoin coming in 66,127. Ethereum is back over $3,000, but probably not for long. And we're going to go and have a look at the 24-hour gainers. Now then, was I right? Number one, Chainlink. We're going to have a look at this. It's only going to be an X file. It's not an article yet because it's breaking news. Chainlink is up 20% in the last 24 hours. You might be asking yourself why. I am saying finally. It's only at $16.50. Even though it's had a 19% pump, that is still incredibly good value for what I'm about to show you. Now, I cannot tell you to buy anything because I cannot give financial advice. But ladies, if you walk into the bar and the barman's standing there and you say to him, are there any hunks in this bar? He can't, of course, point and say, Dave over there, Dave the Wave. What he can do is nudge and wink in that general direction. And that's all I can do is nudge and wink in that general direction. And real world assets and tokens associated with real world assets are going to be big. AI tokens are going to be big. These are tokens which are still speculative, but when I show you what Chainlink are working on, you will realize why that is going to be one of the coins of the next 5 or 6 years. Ondo is up 10%, Lido is up 10%, Hedera is up 8%, Arweave is up 8%, Thor, Brogan will be happy, 7.6%, Avalanche is up 5%, lots of gainers today. Even Cardano is up 5.6% on the day. Losers then, Bonk is down a little bit, Book of Meme is down a bit, as is Pepe. The memes are taking a kick in this morning. Dog with Hat is down again. Just for the record, I believe Dog with Hat has now lost almost 50% of its value from its all-time high. Again, let that be a warning, not a lesson, a warning. Don't chase tornadoes, because what happens when you catch that tornado? You'll be up in the air before you can say, Dog with Hat. You'll be flying around. Your glasses will go one direction, your laptop will go another direction, and you'll suddenly be sitting there and your $1,000 will be worth $400. Don't chase tornadoes. It's very important. Good morning to those of you just joined us. Diabliski, good morning. Kabir, good morning. I hope you're doing well. So they are not too many losers today. Today's more green, I'd say, than red on the whole. And I am incredibly tired today. So the chances are I am going to have a little bit of a rant at some point. Now, this seems to have resized so you cannot see anything. There we go. So first of all, I know many of you don't know this person is, but this is one of these big influencers online. He's going to put $100 million worth of his net worth into Bitcoin because he's fed up of inflation. He's fed up of his money being worth less and less every year, and he is going with Bitcoin. And if I was him, I think that is a good call as well. There's a lot of these to get through. So then, Chainlink completes a test with JP Morgan, Franklin Templeton, BNB Mellon, and other major US banks to accelerate the tokenization of funds. What have I been saying for the last year? Just because something isn't sexy doesn't mean it doesn't have value. Chainlink is sexy in its own way. It might not have the rippling muscles of Arnold Schwarzenegger. It might not have the cute smile of Ryan Reynolds, but Chainlink is that sexy TV news reporter. You cannot fade Chainlink. You cannot fade real-world asset tokens. Before you know it, XRP, Chainlink, the other one that I can't remember the name of off the top of my head right now, Ondo, all of these coins are going to be here and they're going to be owned by these major banks. Make sure you spend 20 minutes this weekend looking at what Chainlink does. I can't tell you to buy anything, but I can tell you to look at it. And I'm certainly not going to tell you to buy it after the price has ripped up 20%. But I do think in this bull run, we could be looking at a $100 link, potentially. Now, we're going to go through this as an article anyway, but Cynthia Lummis, who is a senator, believe it or not, has uploaded a picture of herself with beautiful red laser Bitcoin eyes. US Senator Cynthia Lummis posts Bitcoin laser eyes after pro-crypto legislation passed in the Senate today. And we are going to have a look at that under Biden below, by the way. Just for those of you that like the charts, today we're going to look at Bitcoin, we're going to look at Near Protocol, and we're going to look at Bonk. They are the three that we are going to look at today. Right, let me move on very quickly. And remember, if you have any questions, ask them in chat. There are no stupid questions, only ridiculous answers. That always happens. So that has been removed. Let's move on to the next one. So why is this important? So Donald Trump is going to pick his VP. Based on what the bookies say, Donald Trump is going to become the president of America. I don't know what number it is. He'll become the president of America. And his VP, his vice president, is going to be picked. And there's lots of candidates flying around. And Ron DeSantis is the front runner for this. I think he's somewhere like Florida, somewhere like that. Why is that important? And why should that even be mentioned on a crypto stream? Because he is pro-freedom. During the pandemic, he refused to go through lockdown. He talks about Bitcoin as a way for you to hold on to your freedoms. He is pro-Bitcoin. Donald Trump is pro-Bitcoin within the boundaries of how he wants it to work in America. Don't think he's going to come in and Bitcoin is going to go to $1 million. He's going to come in and he's going to want to A, own it, and B, control it. So having DeSantis on board is a positive. The same way if he had Vivek on board as his VP, he is also positive on Bitcoin. So keep that in mind, that If DeSantis is picked, that is majorly bullish news for crypto in general. And finally then, the word of the day. What's a word that starts with S and ends with T? Now, I thought about this for a while, and I've got a couple of words. And if one of you can guess in chat what word I am thinking of, I will send you some Milkbag tokens. Milkbag is a coin I'm going to review today. I'm going to be reviewing it, probably going to putting the video live in about 2 or 3 hours time. It's a new meme coin, and it's not on exchanges yet, but the chances are it's going to be on exchanges in the near future. So if you can guess in chat what the word is, and I'm not going to give the announcement until the end, then I will give you a small bag of milk, because it's called Milkbag. Little pun there. So that's it for the X-Files. Hopefully one of you will guess the word. If none of you guesses the word, then I will just pick somebody at random from the chat. So if you are in chat and you haven't said anything today, at least type 1, 2, 3. Only you. I can't tell you if you're right or wrong, but it's a good effort. Shout, sit, shoot, suit. Good efforts. Right then, so we covered Vanguard 2 months ago when they said that they were not going to allow people to buy the Bitcoin ETF. And then miraculously, the CEO of Vanguard was removed. Don't know whether that's a coincidence or not. And the new CEO, again, this is a bit of a shock. They normally appoint the new CEO from within. They've actually given the role to Salim Ramji, who is from BlackRock, who was pro-crypto. Now, he said that they are not going to allow Bitcoin ETFs, which is fine. That is fine. They're allowed to do that. But it is a matter of time. Remember, Bitcoin and crypto at the minute is only a $2.5 trillion asset class. It's not the biggest asset class in the world. So you have to understand the size of Vanguard. It's the behemoth. And Bitcoin will probably have to break $100, $150, $200,000, I think, before Vanguard finally buckle to pressure. And the other problem is, for Vanguard especially, is even though they don't want to sell Bitcoin ETFs, Bitcoin is going to infiltrate the funds that are listed on their platforms. So if you buy the Global Tech Fund, for example, you will probably end up having a 2% or 1% allocation in Bitcoin. So they can't get away from it. But they've said they're not going to offer the Bitcoin ETF directly. And I just think that it's a matter of time. Again, it's like the Ethereum ETF. It's not if, but when. So Ramji has been quoted about his interest in digital assets, although I'm not sure that's going to change Vanguard's stance, but he will be the CEO. Who knows? Door is much more open now. I totally agree. Remember, there aren't that many coincidences in life. The CEO came out and said, we are not going to have Bitcoin ETFs listed on Vanguard. And literally, as that word came out of his mouth, as he said Vanguard, 2 security guards picked him up and walked off stage with him. And he got replaced. He got replaced with somebody from BlackRock who is pro-Bitcoin. Connect the dots. Read between the lines. Don't listen to what they're saying. Think about what they are thinking. Because as far as I'm concerned, they have got rid of somebody who was anti-Bitcoin and replaced the CEO with somebody who is pro-Bitcoin. Again, these things take time to come to fruition. Very much like Chainlink. Chainlink is going to take time. I'm not saying Chainlink is going to go to the moon tomorrow and go to $50 tomorrow. I'm saying it's pumped on this news. It will probably retrace. It might come back down to $12. Keep an eye on it. That is what you need to do. Now then, for Mags especially, and Fran in fact, was I right? Number 2. Now I haven't changed this since yesterday. Go back and look at the stream. Go back and look at what I said was going to happen. I said, and you can even see my line, that there is my line. And look what happened. I said we would come down to about 64.7. We came down to 64.6. Was I right? Well, technically, I was wrong, but we wicked down. Why did we wick down? Because we are back at this level of resistance, which is 66.235. You can't see on the screen. Let me drag the screen over for you so you've got some idea what I'm talking about. Hopefully you can see now. This is the Bitcoin chart. We hit resistance and we came back, perfectly to where I wanted us to come back to. And I even wrote I was 70% sure that we would retrace to this line. Now, do you remember what else I said? Maybe we're going to be 3 for 3 here. I said we were more than likely going to see another green day for the Bitcoin ETFs. I said if we get another 300 million coming in to crypto, we would see the price go back up. We had $237 or $273 million of net buying yesterday. So, where does that leave us? We had this just before the dip. Every time we start to retrace from resistance, the ETFs push liquidity back in, push buying back in. And that's why we are sitting at these lines. I didn't draw these lines based on a crystal ball. I've drawn these lines on price action. I've drawn these lines based on where Bitcoin has gone to in the past. We came down to the line I said we'd come down to. We've gone back to the line I said we'd go back to. I am not a technical genius. I do not do TA for a living. I simply look at the behavior of the charts. Rather than the technical side, I look at the behavior. Now, what's going to happen today? Well, again, I'm going to say the same thing. We are either going to break this line or we're going to do the same thing again and come down again. How often are we going to get rejected? 3 times, 4 times before we break. If we break, then we're going to come up to somewhere around, where's the next line I've got? Have I got another line in here or have I not? No, I think the next line is at 73.8. Okay, if we break up, then we need to get above 66.7. And if we get above 66.7, then we are on our way to previous price action, which is way up here. Maybe 68,000, 69,000 would be the next target. But we have to break this line. That's where we have to break. And we are sitting exactly at it. We couldn't be any closer to where I said we were going to be if we tried. And again, if you don't believe me, go back and watch yesterday's stream and you will see these lines haven't moved. You will see me draw the 70% chance of that correction. You will see where I said we would come down to. I haven't got a crystal ball, but was I right? Yes, I was, because the market follows patterns. And I am only trying to catch the patterns in the charts. That's it. Nothing more magical than that. I don't have a secret person that gives me a phone call and says we're going to go up or down. It doesn't happen. Now then, the US Senate votes to eliminate controversial SEC crypto policy after President Biden vows to veto. So, in short, I'm just making sure we are on time. What time is it? 11:19. Oh, we've got plenty of time. Okay. The US Senate just passed a bill overturning the SEC guidelines that disincentivizes banks and large financial institutions from holding Bitcoin and crypto assets. So, where we are in America at the minute is, America is a basket case. If you don't know what that means, America is a circus. It's got clowns, it's got jugglers, it's got people on sticks that walk around who are 10 foot tall. It has women with beards, it has it all. And the issue is that there is no coherent policy. And what do I mean by that? You have to pay tax on your crypto gains or a commodity. I'm fine with that. But not allowing banks to hold those assets when those banks are allowed to hold stocks and shares and bonds and cash and euros and pounds and Swiss francs, there's no coherent policy. It's, like I said, it's a circus. And you've got Gary Gensler with his face paint on and his curly red wig and his white eyes. You've got him in one corner saying everything's a security, we need to fine everybody. Then you've got Cynthia Lummis fighting on behalf of crypto. You've got Joe Biden who doesn't even know what crypto is. And it's just an absolute, it's a mess, an absolute mess. Now, this went to the Senate and it won 60-38, which means that if it is passed, banks and financial institutions will actually be able to custody Bitcoin and those assets. At the minute, there is only one place in America that financial institutions can use to custody financial crypto assets, and I can't mention the name because it's a crypto exchange. There's only one. The bill reverses an SEC accounting rule that forces banks holding crypto on behalf of clients to label those assets as liabilities on the bank's balance sheets. Pro-crypto Senator Cynthia Lummis says the legislation passage signals the beginning of a new pro-political era for the industry. It also marks the first time Congress has passed standalone crypto legislation. We are just getting started. Absolutely. So Mike Flood, who drafted the resolution, said it was designed to ensure consumers are protected by removing roadblocks that prevent highly regulated banks from acting as custodians on digital assets. And I'm sure he got a decent amount of compliments. You could say he was flooded with compliments. The Biden administration has forcefully vowed to veto the law, claiming it would inappropriately constrain the SEC's ability to ensure appropriate guardrails and address future issues related to crypto assets. A load of toss, that is. Right, basically, I don't know what's going on in America, but they are trying their hardest to stifle crypto. If you look at what is happening outside of America, every single country, bar maybe 2 or 3, is pro-crypto. Why is America fighting so hard against crypto? It surely is a political stance. But why? Why are they allowing the world to take a front foot approach to crypto while they are basically sitting on their hands and not doing anything? It makes no sense whatsoever. Kabir has said, if you don't know what it is, just veto it. Absolutely. That's the way forward. Veto it. So we're going to move on from that. I don't want to have a political rant about Joe Biden again. We're just scratching the surface of crypto and AI, says Microsoft executive. The symbiotic relationship between AI and crypto is still in its nascent stages, according to tech execs. Interesting. Microsoft believes that AI is the defining technology of our time, and it has been on the cutting edge of both AI research and investment. Remember what Microsoft did. They are not on the cutting edge at all. They bought OpenAI. Soon Ada will pump TikTok vibes. Absolutely. If you're an Ada fan, join the club. I've been saying for weeks that Ada is being negatively attacked in the press, and shillfluencers are going after XRP and Ada. Why are they doing that? Because I think they want to push the price down so they can get cheaper bags of Ada. But thank you for your comment. So Microsoft is not at the forefront. It bought OpenAI. That doesn't mean it's at the forefront of anything. It just means that it's got more money than anybody else to go and buy the technology. So again, claiming glory for something that they haven't done. That doesn't mean the Seattle-based tech giant isn't paying close attention to the cryptoverse too, including ways that blockchain tech and AI one day support each other. At a recent Cornell blockchain conference in New York, York Rhodes, Microsoft's director for digital transformation, why do these people have such ludicrous titles? I mean, seriously. Does he just like the sound of his own voice? Hello, I am York Rhodes. I am the Microsoft Director for Digital Transformation, Blockchain and Cloud Supply Chain. I mean, come on. Was asked how the company viewed the possible intersection. I do think that as these two techs progress, you can create agents that bring together the power of both. We're just scratching the surface. In a panel discussion titled Crypto X AI, Rhodes' views were further probed by moderator Alex Lin, co-founder and general partner at Reforge. Will Microsoft have its own blockchain one day? There's already a massive amount of interesting stuff going on in crypto, including in the open source community, responded Rhodes. So why would we try to recreate something that already has so much investment? That's probably the most sensible thing he has said. Why? Meta is a perfect example. You have Decentraland and you have Sandbox, which both are, in my opinion, utter wastes of time. However, they've built the tech, they've built a network, they have a team, they have an infrastructure. It makes sense. Meta, under Curly Head, has come along and said, I'm going to make our own metaverse, and has spent billions and billions and billions of dollars on creating something that even its own staff will not use, to the point where he has to blackmail them to use it. He has failed. He has not created anything. Zuckerberg didn't create WhatsApp. He bought it. He didn't create Instagram. He bought it. Facebook, he in a court of law, it was argued that he didn't even write the code. So what has he ever created? Nothing. So why did he think that he was going to be able to create a better metaverse than Decentraland and Sandbox? Arrogance. And that's the problem with large companies. They are arrogant. Now, when you see a large company like this, and Microsoft have been guilty in the past of this, look at what they were saying about the PlayStation and the Xbox. It caused the Xbox sales to crash and PlayStation won market share because of arrogance within Microsoft. So when you see somebody like Rhodes coming out and say, why would we try to recreate something that's so much investment? I applaud that, because that's the right attitude. Again, go back to Biden. What are they trying to do? Control. What will Trump try and do with crypto? Control. What was Microsoft doing in the past? Control. Meta, control. That's the key word. When you have somebody within Microsoft saying that we are just going to use what's already there because it's better than anything we could ever do, and we'll never be able to get it adopted, it's great. Now, what I think they should do is they should create something like Base, which is a layer 2 on Ethereum. I genuinely think Microsoft should have its own layer 2 on Ethereum. Why? Because retail do not want to be phished, robbed, stolen from, hacked, cheated out of their NFTs. That's why. For retail, we need a closed circuit, a closed environment for them to play their games in, operate within, and you have to protect people. And it's all well and good me championing Bitcoin. That's a great thing to have. There's more than one way to own it. You can own it through an ETF. If you're a grandmother and you've got no idea about crypto, that's how you should buy it. If you are Microsoft, it's already built. I've already said that Ethereum for me is going to be the corporate TradFi blockchain of the future. We can just see what BlackRock are doing on it. Microsoft will look at Ethereum and say it never goes down. It's been built on. The financial institutions are going to go there. Ethereum is the blockchain for us, but we don't want to put it directly onto onto Ethereum because it's too slow. So we'll have our own layer 2, and they'll probably call it something crazy like Soft. And that will be their layer 2 blockchain on Ethereum. And do I applaud them for that? Absolutely. Because Ethereum is the computer or the internet of the blockchain of the internet. So it's the most logical choice. Microsoft's focus today is on optimizing existing tech such as layer 2 blockchain rollups. I should have just read it to the end. Would we ever build an L1? I don't think so. So all in all, this is great news. Crypto may have to play a secondary role to AI's lead. Rhodes acknowledged that a massive trend like AI tends to suck a lot of the air out of the room for other emerging tech, including crypto and blockchain from Web3. I disagree with that entirely. What I think AI will do is complement crypto and the blockchain world, but also AI will move into gaming. You know, you'll be able to play a computer game in the future, maybe Grand Theft Auto 6 or 7 or whichever version we're on, and you'll be able to talk to the characters in the game and they will react to you in real time. You'll be able to go and create an entire game or an entire level of a game based on what you say. You could say, I want to play Fortnite, but I want it to be Ghostbusters themed. And suddenly you've got the Stay Puft Man walking around the screen. That's what AI can do from that side of things, from entertainment. From finance, it can make sure you don't get phished. It can make sure your transactions go through properly. It can obviously trade for you, but don't go near any AI trading bots. They're all scams. But in the future, you will be able to use AI for many, many things. So it is a good step forward. There's been a lot of talk about decentralized graphics processing units. GPUs, for instance, continually, but no one talks about latency, the time it takes for data to transfer across a network. We don't need to talk any more about that. We're already halfway through the show. We are skipping through. Now, what I'm going to do is show you an AI coin. Yesterday, we talked about Singularity, we talked about Fetch, we talked about Render, and now we're going to have a very quick look at Near Protocol. Now, Near Protocol is, for me, it's going to be up there. It's going to be there and thereabouts. They started off as an AI company and then moved into blockchain. They have a lot of announcements they haven't made yet. The CEO came out and said, we've got a lot of things to talk about. We can't talk about them today. Now, if you listened to the show, let's go to the Daily Show. If you listen to the show, what's the market cap of Near? I think, Kabir, it's probably about 8 billion, 7 billion. Should we have a look? Maybe it's moved up. There we go. 8.8 billion. So, again, I'm going to explain where I think this is going to go in a minute. We peaked at $9, and I said it's too expensive for me to buy at $9. I'm not going to buy. I'm going to start to dollar cost averaging when it gets cheaper. I then picked up my Near about there. So I was buying Near at $6, $5.90, $6.05. That's when I was picking up Near. We were in this beautiful channel, and then we broke out. And we are approaching a decision point for Near. And that decision point for Near is all the way up here. Let's call it $9. Let's just call it, for argument's sake, $9. That's going to be the point of resistance for Near. If we break that, we go above $10. Many people who, again, far more knowledgeable than me, study the charts a lot more than I do. They are suggesting that Near is going to go up towards $20. Now, I'm not thinking that's going to happen today or tomorrow. I'm thinking that could be towards the end of this year, going into the beginning of next year, because what's that? It's a 2.5x. So a 2.5x on that would put it at 20 billion. Well, that would put it 10th. I don't think we're there yet. I think the most we can expect from Near is to get towards about maybe 12 or 14 billion, which would rank it about here, 13th. I think that's fair for now. And that would be a 50% move up. But again, I'll say this a lot on here. Go and check the project out yourself before you do anything on any coin that I mentioned on here. We did wick down and touch the bull market support band. And every time you've seen that in the past, what happens? Price goes up, price goes up, price goes up. That's why it's important to touch the bull market support band, because it gives you confidence that you're not going to come crashing down. So for me, have a look at Near Protocol. Hand on heart, it's going to go one of two ways. I think it might be overpriced. If you look at the RSI, it's a little bit high for me. It might come back down towards $7. That would be the price I'd look to buy near at. But I could be, again, I don't have a crystal ball, I could be completely wrong and we could break $9 by Tuesday, Wednesday next week. That's the issue. It's one of these coins that if they come out with some news over the weekend, it could rip. And where would it go? I think it would go there-ish, thereabouts. That's where I think it will go. That fib level there, $10.30. If nothing comes out, Bitcoin retraces over the weekend, then it will probably come back into this channel. And if it does, then that would be a time, in my opinion, you could look at this coin. I'm going to just draw this down a little bit more, because this could be a wick that comes out, very similar to what happened down here, where we broke below, we came back in. What could happen is we could just come back into this channel and continue on its way down, and maybe we start to bounce off $5.40. It is one of the strongest coins at the minute, and they are an AI company. Bear that in mind. They're an AI company that moved into the blockchain. It's not a blockchain company that's gone, you know what we'll do? We'll just put the word AI on the end of everything, and then we'll suddenly triple in value. They are an AI company. Go and check them out. They are closely associated, and the reason I started looking at this, and it was very recently that I started looking at this, probably in the last, probably in the last 2 months I started looking at NEAR. And the reason I started looking at NEAR is because they are forging closer and closer ties with NVIDIA. That's why I am looking at NEAR. The same way that Render is aligning itself with Apple, so that will do well, I think NEAR is going to align itself with NVIDIA, and I think they could play a part in the future. Remember, NVIDIA is developing an AI NPC that you give a story to, and then that NPC will interact with you based on the character that you've given it. It's incredible tech. If you haven't seen that, go and watch it. Good morning, Tariq. I have purposely slowed the show down for you to make it to the show. You haven't missed that much. So then, we've talked about the new CEO of Vanguard, and we've talked about him being pro-crypto. We've talked about Biden not knowing what crypto is, and eventually we're going to see probably Trump and DeSantis in power. They will be pro-crypto. I've been showing you every day this week a big company buying hundreds, if not billions of dollars of Bitcoin ETFs. So, if you are thinking of selling your Bitcoin today or tomorrow, go and look in the mirror and say to yourself, what would Mike do? And Mike would not sell his Bitcoin. And that's not financial advice. That's what I would do. It's my personal opinion. So, Tariq is here. I think I've just said hello to Tariq. You didn't miss a lot. I've just been kind of covering the markets and stuff. Bitcoin is back at 66-ish thousand. We're back at the resistance point. We came down and touched the support point. It's all looking good. Smart, start, spent. Right. Also, Tariq, there is a competition to win some milk box, I think it's called. I'm going to bring up the website of it in a minute anyway, so you can see what I'm talking about. I'll do that at the end of the show. But you need to think of a word that begins with S and ends in T. And if you get it right, I'm going to give away some milk tokens to you. And that token, I think, eventually will end up on some of the exchanges you're watching on now. So it's kind of preemptive, if you know what I mean. It's a new coin. So you need to think of a word that begins with S and ends in T. And we've had some guesses today. We've had smart, start, and spent. Shout, sit, shoot, suit, sut. We've had stout from Danny. Sweet, sight, scent, set, sat, shut. Still thinking. Well, so far, that's about 30 guesses. And I'm not going to tell you what the answer is just yet. Let me move on to this then. So, again, yesterday I had a little rant about that lady who didn't know what she was talking about. And today we're going to look at what John has said. Smart Money has an eye for 2 crypto to buy for a 10 to 50x potential in 2024. Let's see what John has to say, and let's see if we agree with him, because based on yesterday, she was 3 for 3 of being wrong. She was telling you to buy 3 tokens that had already ripped, and she was telling you to buy GME, which is a pump and dump coin. So again, I'll keep saying this, don't listen to anybody on the internet. Do your own research. If I tell you that Near Protocol and Fetch and Singularity and Render are amazing AI projects, don't take my word for it. Use what I'm saying as a breadcrumb to go and do that research. I will find things that you won't, and I will tell you about them because I think you should know about them. But it's your job to go and decide if I'm talking through the right hole. That's such a nice way of saying it. You need to decide if I'm talking through the right hole or not. So I do the same thing to people like this, because sometimes they'll bring out a project and I've never heard of it. I'll go and look it up and I'll think that's a good project. So these are altcoins to buy according to John. Should we see what John has to say? May is expected to allow for the stabilization of prices following a roller coaster in April. From the first quarter, crypto prices surged. CoinGecko data shows. Very good. Yes, we know about this. The Bitcoin price prediction reveals that the potential of 2024 is yet to be exhausted. It's AI, this, isn't it? Let's be honest. John didn't write this, did you, John? You went to ChatGPT and you typed in, I've got a deadline, give me an article about crypto and 2 price predictions, and you've hit go. So let's see, what are you predicting? You're predicting, John, a 10 to 50x this year. Okay, let's get on board with that, shall we? So, therefore, understanding market psychology could be the best way to approach investing in crypto to buy, like the meme coin Bonk and the top 10 project Cardano. So it's predicting Bonk and Cardano. Okay, so let's have a look at what they're going to say about Bonk. And again, I pull people up as many times as I can about this. If you're new to crypto, these are totally unrealistic. The one I covered yesterday was people saying that XRP was going to go to $600. It's never going to go to $600. Never going to do it. Go and look at the market caps of crypto. And that's what we're going to do now. We're going to go and show why John should not be listened to. So let's give John the benefit of the doubt. Okay, let's give John the benefit of the doubt. And let's say it's a 10x this year, not a 50x, because that's totally unrealistic. Let's be fair to John. So Bonk has spent 4 weeks oscillating between support and resistance. An ascending trend line reinforced, however, their efforts weakened on entering or encountering the seller congestion at that price. So that's where we are. That's the Bonk price chart. Bonk support comes at a time when the prices are breaking. No, we don't talk about this. Traders anticipate a breakout target of at least 45% equal to the height of the pattern. So that would be 4-1. So I don't care about the chart. I am going to show you the price of Bonk. Now, Bonk is down here. There we go. Bonk is $1.5 billion. And he has told you that it could potentially 10x. So Bonk would go from a $1.5 billion asset class to a $15 billion asset, not asset class, asset, which would rank it at the same price as Shiba Inu. Now, you're going to say to me, yes, but then the market will also rise by 10x, so he'll be right. Well, if the entire asset class is going to go up 10x this year, which is not, but if it does, why would you put your money into Bonk, which is a high-risk meme coin or community coin? Why wouldn't you buy, if everything's going to go up a 10x, why don't you buy XRP or Solana or BNB? So why is the play for Bonk going to get you a 10x? It isn't. It's not going to get you a 10x. He's picked a meme coin and he's picked Cardano. So Bonk is not going to go to 15 billion. Bonk will be lucky to go to, where is our good friend Dog with Hat? 3 billion. So Bonk could 100% go up 2x, sorry, not 100%. It go up 100%. Could it hit 4 billion and move up towards where Pepe is? Yes, it can. That's a 3x, John. It is John, isn't it? So make sure we've got your name right, John. Yeah, John. So, John, you're wrong. So you're 1 for 1 and you're wrong and you're giving bad advice again. Now, Cardano is at 42 to 46 cents. And the chart of Cardano is not showing any price movement to get it anywhere near $1, which is a 2x. If Cardano manages to break the 50 cents resistance, it could be at 60 cents and it could even go to $1. Well, that's a 2x, John, not a 10x. So let's look at Cardano, shall we? And Cardano, he's telling you it is going to go up 10x. Let's say 10x. So that would put Cardano at 170 billion. Okay, 170 billion would put it above BNB and Solana combined. Is that going to happen? No, John, it's not going to happen. Is it irresponsible, John, for you to give people 2 random cryptocurrencies and tell them it's going to 10x? Yes, it is, John. It's incredibly irresponsible because people watching this and listening to this show will think, if I put $100 into Cardano, John, I'm going to have $1,000 at the end of the year. So is it irresponsible? Absolutely, it is irresponsible. And these are the people, and this is the reason why you are going to get burnt. You might come on here and expect me to say Solana is going to be at $2,000 by the end of the year, because that's what you want to hear. You want confirmation bias. You want me to tell you how well your portfolio is going to do. But that shows a lack of responsibility, and I would never do that. I will tell you what I think is going to happen based on a conservative price movement. If we're going to hit a $10 trillion market cap for the entirety of crypto, that is a 4x from here. Bitcoin is the majority of that. So you could argue that we will hit $250,000 for Bitcoin this cycle. Now, give or take 10 or 20%. So if Bitcoin is going to take the majority of that market cap, if we hit 10 trillion, then fine. What happens if we only hit 6 trillion? What happens if we only hit 5 trillion? Then Bitcoin would go to $130,000. So these people telling you that Cardano is going to 50x, what nonsense? What nonsense is that? That would give Cardano the market cap of Bitcoin. So when you see things like this and you read them, don't read them as gospel, because they're going to get you wrecked, or if not wrecked, disappointed. I think Bonk, this bull run, could hit $10 billion in the bull run. That is a 6x from here, okay? It's not a 50x or a 100x, and the end of the bull run is next year. In my opinion, it's November 2025, not the end of this year. You buy Bonk today, it could very well be at the same price in December, because it might not move. The meme season might not happen. Cardano, I would love Cardano to get to $3 by the end of this bull run. That would be a 6x. That would give it a market cap of $100 billion. But again, I'm expecting some of these coins to do a 4x, a 5x, a 6x. I'm not going to tell you that a top 10 coin is going to do a 10 or 50x. It's not likely to happen. It will happen. Maybe it happens for Doge. Maybe it happens for XRP. Maybe it happens for Cardano. That's why you diversify your portfolio. Cardano might very well get to $5, but XRP might only get to $2.50. That's why you diversify. But don't look at these charts and think that these people telling you these prices are going to be right, because you're just going to get wrecked or disappointed. Now, this is the bonk chart. Okay. Now, a 10x on this price, let's put this into context, shall we? Let's put a line where John, our new friend, we've got a new friend now, John. So John expects this price, and I can't even get it up that high, but let's say there. So that's where John expects the price to go. Up there. Okay. Now, you'll see just how small and insignificant everything is down here compared to where John's line is. John's line is on the dark side of the moon. You're never going to see it. It's never going to get there. So, what should John be telling you to do? John should be telling you to look at previous price targets. What's the all-time high? Well, funnily enough, we wicked. We didn't stay there, we wicked to there. Now, that is, as far as I can work out in my little tiny brain, a 2x. So, if you put $100 into Bonk and it goes back to its all-time high, that will give you $200, $100 profit if it goes back there. I think over time, because it's a utility token, because it has real-world connections now with Revolut and things like that, I think over time Bonk is going to do well. I'm not denying it's going to do well. But don't listen to anybody that tells you the price is going to 20x or 10x without you looking at the market cap. And the argument is, and I'll say it again, it won't go to 10th position, and you're quite right in saying, well, the entire crypto asset is going to go up 4x. That's correct. Well, if it is all going to go up 4x, don't pick a meme coin. I nearly swore then. Don't pick a meme coin. Pick a Chainlink. Pick an XRP. Pick a Solana. Pick a BNB. If they're all going to go up 4x or 5x or 6x, pick one. What gives Bonk the chance to outperform Chainlink? Think of that. From where we are today, if you put $100 into Chainlink and $100 into Bonk, what makes you think that $100 will go to $500 in Chainlink? What makes you think the $100 will go to $500 in Bonk? If you can't answer that question, it's speculation, and speculation will get you wrecked. You should be putting the majority of your money into assets that you understand, you can describe to me in a lift in 3 floors, and you keep an eye on. You follow them. Chainlink, XRP, Cardano, Solana, BNB, Avalanche, all really good projects. Some still a little bit speculative, others not so. Don't listen to people that tell you something is going to go where it's going to go without any evidence. And John did not give you a single shred of evidence in his article that this was going to 10x. He says nothing in here about the price of that token going anywhere. That's why you should take what these people say with a pinch of salt and throw it over your shoulder for good luck. Right, only you. Okay, I'm going to let you into a secret. One of you has got it right. And therefore has won. So what have you won? You have won a little bag of milk bag, and I'm going to announce the winner in the end. Right, also before I forget, we've got one article to go. We've got 5 minutes yet. The question of the day is, which won first for Bitcoin, $70,000 or $60,000? And 67% of you have said 70,000 and 33% of you have said 60,000. Those of you that have said 60,000, again, go back to that mirror, look yourself in the eyes and say to yourself, why do I disappoint Mike on a daily basis? 70,000 is the target for Bitcoin, not 60. We've got good news on the CPI. We've got good news on the buy pressure of the ETFs. The only thing we don't have good news about is Biden, and that's to be forgiven because Biden doesn't know whether it's night or day, so we can forgive that. But congratulations to the winner. I will message you on Telegram later on. It won't be a lot because the price is fluctuating, but you hold on to it, and when it does hopefully eventually pump, you'll be able to sell it. And again, I'm not going to shill you the token. I'm not going to tell you to go and buy this token. I'm going to make a video about it so you can go and have a look at it. Anyway, before we get to Milkbag, how and when to sell your crypto, a simple guide. And also, before I forget, Tariq, you cannot copy and paste every single word in chat back into chat and expect to win. The winner has commented already, so the person has won. The latest Cointelegraph video explains how to set up a successful exit strategy in crypto using a few simple steps. I'm not going to play the video. I'm going to go through the text down here. Missing out on a crypto bull market is tough, but what's worse is watching your crypto wealth skyrocket only to crash before you can take profits. Taking profits means turning digital gains into real money. There are two main ways to cash out in crypto: convert your assets into stable coins and transfer them to your crypto wallet, or sell your crypto for fiat and transfer to your bank account. Deciding when to sell, which crypto to sell, and how much to sell depends on your financial situation, life stage, risk tolerance, and investment goals. Avoid trying to time the market perfectly. Instead, set clear price targets. For example, if you put $25,000 into a coin, you might sell 20% when your portfolio reaches 50,000, 30% when it reaches 75,000, and so on. A popular strategy is the house money approach. When your investment significantly increases, cash out your initial investment. I don't call that house money, I call that a moon bag. And I can't remember who said it first. Maybe Crypto Wendio was the first person that I heard that. What this means is if you put $100 into Bonk and your $100 becomes $400, the first thing you should do is take out your original $100. That's how it works. That means you do not have buyer's or seller's remorse. You've got your money out. So what happens to that $300 afterwards is less psychologically of an impact than leaving it all in and watching it run down. You look at, what was he called? Was it Slumdoge Millionaire? At one point he had $36 million worth of Doge, and now he's got $2.5 million worth of Doge. He didn't sell the top. He ran it all down again. So don't forget to take profits and pay yourself. Remember, transaction fees and taxes can impact your net gains, so account for these costs. Ultimately, while holding crypto is beneficial, the goal is to use profits to improve your life. So it doesn't go into any more depth than that, but it's a good tip. What we're going to do is, at some point, is we are going to make a live stream, and we're going to give you a fictitious scenario for the bull run, and we're going to break it down how we would sell at the top, or where we think is the top of the bull run, and we're going to break it down how and when we would sell our assets. And now, it's not going to interest everybody. The majority of you won't care. The majority of you won't want to watch. So we will do it on a separate night, maybe a Wednesday night. We will do it as a separate show, and we will take you through step by step on what we're going to do. Now, before I go, I'm going to show you the meme coin that I'm going to make a video about today. This is not an endorsement. Before anybody thinks it is not an endorsement. I do hold Milkbag because I have an airdrop of it, so I'm going to give some of mine away. Now, Milkbag is a lactose-friendly meme coin on Solana. I'm going to go through the website. I'm going to go through what they are about, why they are doing it, and I'm going to cover it. But we're going to give some away. Now, it is the end of the show, and there is a winner. And that winner, I hope you're all ready for this, that winner is Danny. Danny said short, and short was the word I had in my head. Now, as far as I'm aware, nobody before Danny said short. We've had shoot and stout, but nobody said short. So Danny has won a small bag of milk. I will send that to you after the show. I will contact you to make sure that you I have your correct wallet address, and I'll send you a couple of dollars of Milkbag. So congratulations to Danny. Short was the answer. I saw it yesterday. I thought, what word can I think of that's to do with crypto that I mention all the time? And of course, it's short. I do not know where Tariq got his list of words from, but I don't think I've ever said the word cent, student, secret, subtract, shift. I don't think I've ever said any of those words, but it was a good effort, Tariq. One of the better ones, I would say. So that's it for the show. It is 12 o'clock exactly. We've managed to do the entire show in exactly 1 hour. I suppose there is time for a final thought. I'll go back to the comment at the bottom of the screen. Was I right? I think the answer to was I right is yes. And the question is, why was I right? And the answer is research, which is what I try and do for you, with you, and advise you to do. If you research, you are not going to be 100% right all the time. You're still going to buy the wrong thing. But if you research and find projects that you understand and you like and you think they're going to go places, and you diversify amongst 10 or so of those projects, you are going to be more successful than not. So my advice is, do your own research, and watching this show is doing your own research. Learning about Chainlink, learning about the Bitcoin movements, learning about the new Vanguard CEO, AI, the picks that we go through, learning when people are talking through the wrong hole. All of those things are doing your own research. But to take it to the next step, go and look at Chainlink, go and look at Near Protocol, go and look at a few of those things, and you will eventually, over time, learn as much as you need to get where you need to go in crypto. With all that being said, a quick reminder, we're back tomorrow. We are back tomorrow at 11 o'clock. This time, we will be in the studio, so you will get to see myself, and you will get to see the future James Bond, Brogan, and we will talk you through what's happened. We're at 66.3, and we look like we're trying to break out. So tomorrow, we could very well be at 67, or we could have touched 67. So let's see where we are tomorrow. Thanks everybody for watching. Thanks everybody for taking part. We would still make the show if it was just Brogan, myself, and Tariq, or Mags, or Danny, or only you. If it was just the four of us in a room, we'd still do the show because it's research for us as well. We get to keep on top of everything to do with crypto. So take care, everybody. If we don't see you tomorrow, have a great weekend. Remember, touch the grass, look at the sky, plenty of sleep, plenty of water. We've still got a long way to go in this bull run. Don't believe all the hype. I think somebody famous sang "Don't Believe the Hype." But anyway, I digress. Stick to your conviction. Trust in the process. Don't let anybody shake you out of your Bitcoin. You've held your Bitcoin from $15,000 when people were calling you a fool, and now people are calling you lucky. You're not lucky. You had the cojones to buy Bitcoin in the bear market and crypto in the bear market. And now, over the next 12 to 18 months, hopefully, you will see life-changing wealth. And that can be a new car, paying off your mortgage, school fees paid for. Life-changing wealth is different for different people. So have a great day. Thank you, Mags. Thank you, Only You. And Only You, we are not a team, we are a family. And that is so cliche and cringe, but it's true. In my opinion, it's true anyway. And I wouldn't say that if I didn't mean it. So having somebody to talk to and listen to in crypto, if you live where nobody talks about crypto, is another reason we're here. And another reason we streamed on Christmas Day, and another reason we streamed on New Year's Day this year as well, because we are your connection to crypto if you don't have one. So keep that in mind. Have a great day, and I will see you all in the morning.